The world of My Time at Portia and My Time at Sandrock is built on the ruins of a fallen civilization. Once driven by advanced technology, society collapsed during the Age of Darkness, a catastrophic war that reshaped borders and wiped out much of the old world's knowledge. What emerged in its place was a fragile balance of power, where nations and city-states compete for influence in a world still recovering from devastation. The Free Cities, an alliance of independent settlements, stand as a decentralized but cooperative force. Their main rivals are Duvos, a militarized state with expansionist ambitions, and Atara, a dominant empire wielding economic and technological supremacy. Beneath the surface of trade agreements and diplomatic ties, the scars of past wars remain. Tensions linger, alliances shift, and the question of whether history will repeat itself looms over the world's future. The Free Cities are a loose coalition of independent settlements spread across the continent. Unlike centralized nations, they lack a singular government, operating instead as self-governing city-states bound by trade agreements and mutual defense pacts. Their alliance exists largely out of necessity. Without cooperation, they would be easy targets for expansionist powers like Duvos. Each city maintains its own governing structure, economy, and military forces. Portia is an industrial hub with a growing economy driven by workshops and resource extraction. Sandrock, positioned in a harsh desert environment, survives through trade and strategic partnerships. Other cities, such as Vega 5 and Highwind, contribute their own specializations, from technological advancements to military defense. Despite their collective strength, the Free Cities suffer from a fundamental weakness: disunity. Without a centralized authority, decision-making is slow, and responses to external threats are often fragmented. Its primary function is mutual defense. If one city is attacked, others are expected to provide aid. Without a standing military or central leadership, responses to crises are often slow and inconsistent. Economically, the alliance strengthens trade and infrastructure projects, ensuring that member cities can prosper despite their individual weaknesses. While it lacks the military strength of Atara or Duvos, the alliance of free cities remains a crucial factor in the world's balance of power. Its survival depends on continued cooperation and the ability to resist external threats without fracturing from within. Atara is the largest and most technologically advanced nation in the world. It operates as a highly organized empire with a strong central government, a stable economy, and access to technology lost to most other regions. Unlike the free cities, which rely on local governance, Atara maintains direct control over its territory, enforcing laws and regulations that allow for greater efficiency in both military and economic affairs. Atara's influence extends beyond its borders, serving as a stabilizing force in regional politics. It has historically opposed Duvos' expansionist ambitions and plays a key role in supporting the free cities, though always on its own terms. While not overtly aggressive, Atara's sheer power ensures that it is the dominant force in global affairs. Duvos stands as the primary antagonist in the geopolitical landscape. It is a militarized state that has long sought to expand its influence through conquest and intimidation. Unlike the decentralized free cities or the stable governance of Atara, Duvos operates under an authoritarian regime with a strong emphasis on military strength and national unity. Historically, Duvos has engaged in multiple conflicts with its neighbours, particularly the free cities and Atara. While outright war is currently at a standstill, skirmishes and political manoeuvring continue to define its relationships. Duvos views the free cities as weak and fragmented, making them prime targets for annexation. Its ongoing rivalry with Atara stems from failed attempts at expansion and Atara's repeated interventions against its military campaigns. Long before the events of My Time at Portia and My Time at Sandrock, the world was devastated by a catastrophic conflict that led to the collapse of civilization. This war, often referred to as the Age of Darkness, was the result of unchecked technological advancements, mass warfare, and the misuse of artificial intelligence. Nations and empires that once wielded immense power were reduced to ruin, leaving behind the fragmented world seen in the present day. In the aftermath, humanity struggled to survive. With much of the land rendered uninhabitable and infrastructure destroyed, people were forced into hiding. Many historical records were lost, making the true nature of the war difficult to piece together. What is known is that the collapse gave rise to the Church of Light, a religious organization that preaches against the dangers of old world technology. The Church's influence remains strong, particularly in the free cities, where it advocates for the responsible use of inventions and limits the spread of high-tech advancements. In the centuries following the Age of Darkness, new political entities emerged, but peace remained elusive. Among these factions, Duvos and Atara became the dominant forces, and their history is defined by repeated clashes for control over resources and influence. Duvos, operating under an authoritarian regime, has consistently sought to expand its territory. While it lacks the economic and technological advantages of Atara, its military strength makes it a serious threat. Over the years, Duvos has attempted to annex parts of the free cities, leading to direct confrontations with Atara. These wars have resulted in high casualties and territorial shifts, but neither side has been able to claim total victory. Atara, though militarily capable, prioritizes stability over conquest. While it has defended free cities from Duvos' aggression, it does so selectively, ensuring its own strategic interests are protected. The conflict between these two powers remains at a standstill, with diplomatic tensions flaring up whenever either side attempts to expand its influence. While Atara plays the role of a distant superpower, the free cities are left to defend themselves against Duvos' more immediate threats. Over the years, several settlements have been targeted by Duvos, particularly those on the outskirts of the Alliance. Sandrock, positioned in a harsh and resource-scarce region, has seen its fair share of conflict, struggling to maintain independence against external pressures. Due to their lack of a centralized military, the free cities rely on local militias, mercenary forces, and alliances to fend off attacks. While successful in some cases, their fragmented nature makes them vulnerable. Unlike Atara, which can engage Duvos on a larger scale, individual free cities are often forced into uneasy ceasefires or trade agreements that keep conflict at bay, at least temporarily. Despite the absence of full-scale war in recent years, the geopolitical landscape remains unstable. With Duvos still holding expansionist ambitions and the free cities relying on fragile alliances, the potential for future conflict looms large. While war has shaped the world of My Time at Portia and My Time at Sandrock, diplomacy and trade define the present. The free cities, despite their lack of a centralized military, hold economic leverage through commerce, resource extraction, and industrial development. Trade routes connect Portia, Sandrock, and other free cities to Atara, ensuring a steady flow of goods, while Duvos, despite its aggressive stance, engages in limited trade to maintain its economy. Atara benefits the most from these exchanges, using its economic power to influence weaker regions. Its advanced technology and infrastructure projects are highly sought after, and its willingness to provide aid to free cities strengthens its position as a dominant force. However, this dependency also means that Atara can exert pressure, ensuring that no city-state within the free cities grows powerful enough to disrupt the status quo. The Church of Light remains a powerful force in international politics, shaping policies on technology and ethics. As one of the few institutions that survived the Age of Darkness, the Church has positioned itself as a moral authority, advocating against the widespread use of old-world technology. While Atara and some free cities embrace technological advancements, the Church actively works to prevent a return to the destructive past. In the free cities, the Church wields significant influence, often lobbying against high-tech research and pushing for regulations on automation. This has led to a divide between progressives, who see technology as the key to rebuilding civilization, and traditionalists, who fear another collapse. While Atara largely ignores the Church's restrictions, Duvos uses its opposition to technology as a propaganda tool, framing itself as a nation willing to break from the past and forge a new path. Although open war between Duvos and the Free Cities is currently avoided, tensions remain high. Duvos continues its expansionist policies through political maneuvering, espionage, and strategic alliances. Certain free cities, particularly those on the outskirts, face constant pressure through economic coercion and small-scale military threats. Duvos has also adapted its tactics, engaging in trade wars and resource manipulation to weaken its rivals. Unlike Atara, which relies on economic dominance, Duvos uses trade as a weapon, undercutting industries, restricting key resources, and fostering internal instability within the free cities. Despite the fragile peace, alliances are not set in stone. The free cities remain loosely connected, and their continued reliance on Atara's protection raises concerns about sovereignty. Some cities may seek to distance themselves from Atara's influence, while others may consider alternative partnerships to ensure their survival. Meanwhile, Duvos continues to test the limits of diplomatic engagement. If its economic and political strategies fail, military action may once again become an option. Whether the free cities can maintain their independence, or if Atara will be forced into direct conflict with Duvos, remains uncertain. What is clear is that the balance of power remains fragile. One wrong move, whether through a failed negotiation, a territorial dispute, or an economic collapse, could send the world spiraling back into conflict. Despite the lingering tensions between major powers, daily life in the free cities remains focused on rebuilding and progress. Towns like Portia and Sandrock thrive through trade, craftsmanship, and resource management, with their citizens more concerned about local industry and community affairs than global politics. While governments maneuver for power, the average builder, merchant, or farmer continues their work, shaping their world one project at a time. Thanks for watching. If you're into deep dives on rising tensions in game worlds, drop a like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below.